Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Yesterday I left off talking about my third episode, the events leading up to it. Um, so I left off, I moved to LA. I rented a room from a friend and I was looking for a job and I really had to swallow my pride. I had worked for a pretty high-end jewelry store that I got fired from because of my behavior. And so I applied for a much smaller jewelry store in a mall, knowing that I would get the job. But there's a question on the application that says, have you ever been arrested? Da, da, da. So I lied on the application because in my second episode, I was arrested. I was arrested twice and I was arrested more times on 5150, which is fun. Um, But so I started working there. I worked there for about 3 weeks, and then they did the background check. And I came into work one day, and the manager was there, or the district manager was there, and asked to speak to me, and basically told my boss to fire me. And so I was fired, and this is now the second time I'm getting fired because of my illness or the things that happened from it. And it was humiliating. Not only had I been fired from a great job, but I got fired from a crappy jewelry store in a mall. And that was devastating. And so I had to keep trucking along, I guess, as they say. And I had my marketing degree. I had a college degree, so you would think it would be really easy to find a job. Not the case. But I found a job working for a direct mail place. This lady sold furniture. She was a raging alcoholic, and I ended up quitting that place after a month. So I was completely unemployed. I think I was able to collect unemployment for a short period of time. But eventually I was running out of options, so I applied for an internship. That actually led me to a job instead of an internship. So I started working in media. I worked in media for about 4 years. And that was hard because I was already well above like the normal age of people who started that job. Usually they start right out of college, and I had graduated college a few years later, and I was starting in this business a few years later. So already I felt like the cards were stacked against me, because ageism is a real thing. And so I worked there. I really was really happy and excited because I had gone to school for marketing and I was working in media, and that was close enough. And it was a fun industry. There were a lot of parties that I got to go to, rub elbows with famous people type of thing. And it was good for a few years. And then I started to realize, then one day I remember looking at my boss and thinking, God, I don't want her job. What what am I going to do? And I don't know if that is what triggered me, but I had another episode. And for me, they always happen overnight. And it was kind of like I woke up one morning and I had all these ideas and I thought I could do anything. And then set in the paranoia, and people are trying to kill me, and people are trying to chase me, and hanging out with random weirdos. There was some like weird guy that lived around the corner, an older man who I ran into at a 99-cent store, and I started hanging out with him. I didn't do anything gross with him, but it just like, it was weird. It was like, I was open to anything and anyone that would talk to me and show me kindness. And so I hung out with a lot of weird people. And during this episode, this was when I decided to drive to San Diego, and when I lost my cat. And I actually got stranded in San Diego. I lost my keys, and I decided it would be a good idea to take a cab ride all the way back to LA. And I didn't have the money to pay for the cab, so of course I ended up going to jail as soon as I got home. And I spent probably about 10 hours in a holding cell before they finally let me go with the ticket that just said you have to show up at court. But yeah, I remember walking home from the jail because my shoes had broke, and somebody saw me walking down the street barefoot and picked me up and took me back to my place. And then a lot of craziness ensued after that, which I will get to tomorrow. If you are interested, tune in then. Thank you. Bye.